Hey everybody, it's me, Sven Sharpen here, bringing you day number 177 of Let's Talk About Autism. Before we get started, I would love you to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below the video. It would help me out tremendously. So, in today's video, I'll be talking about how the special education programs are causing low proficiency in kids on the spectrum, and it's causing them to be held back needlessly. So, how this happens is, well, it's simpler than you think. It's because special needs does not teach what they should. They're not teaching math, they're not teaching literacy, they're not teaching science, they're not teaching history, and they sure as heck aren't teaching life skills. Instead, they're teaching like SEL and zones of regulation and how do you feel today? Red zone, yellow zone, red zone, green zone, whatever. All that crazy stuff. And I mean, granted, you'll probably be in normal classes, but if something happens, like in my unfortunate case in 8th grade, I was down with the flu for a week, so that flu shot sure didn't help. That's why I don't get flu shots anymore. But I was out for a week, and instead of just returning to my math class in particular, which was probably the hardest one, I'm not bad at math. It's that because the class was kind of work heavy, missing out an entire week of it meant that I couldn't just return, even though any kid would just return, whether they missed out on a lot of it or not. But I was forced to sort of go through everything that was talked about that week, and ultimately what ended up happening was I missed out on more. Like, I missed out on almost like what felt like an entire month. And that caused me to struggle even more than I otherwise would have. Like, if I would just return to class normally, I would have figured out what I'd missed out on and it would have been okay. But I ended up finishing with a D in the class, almost failing it, just because I missed out on extra time when I didn't need to because the SPED program said I had to relearn the whole thing. I mean, this is just a small example of SPED. Like, they teach all the things that you most likely have already learned, and if you did miss out on it, you'd eventually figure it out when you're supposed to be learning things at age level. So it's going to cause a lot of this low proficiency, and there are cases where you don't even get to go to normal class, and when you are, you're surveilled, which I've already talked about in previous videos. But if you can't go to normal class, it's almost like COVID, but it's personalized to you, and there's no COVID lockdown on the whole school. So of course you're going to have low proficiency when you're not going to normal class. And what happens when you have low proficiency is the school is like, this guy's not ready to move on to the next grade, we're going to hold him back. So it's sort of like SPED causing a child to be held back because they didn't properly educate the child. It's an example of a system that doesn't do its job, and it might just be an intentional agenda to dumb down the neurodivergent mind. It's really sad what they're doing. And now we're seeing special education having all this leftist social justice crap like critical race theory and queer theory and all this nonsense. And we're seeing this expanded to the rest of the education system, and there are confirmed reports that every kid is now less proficient than grade level because they were not taught what they should have been taught. And it's so unprecedented. They present it like this is unprecedented, like this has never happened before. But to me, as an autistic person who sees the reason and went through the reason why kids would be not proficient in something, that's nothing new to me. To an autistic person, this is nothing new. And if anything, it's almost like the world is learning what it's like to grow up on the spectrum. That's why we're having these low proficiencies. But, it could be causing kids to be held back. I've seen way too many kids on the spectrum, like some of which are older than I am, and yet were a grade after me. Like, they graduated after I did, if ever at all. So, and it's all because the special needs program didn't teach them what they should have been taught. So you have this low proficiency, and that's how it happens. That's just a tragic example of people who are tasked with helping you not doing their jobs. So if we don't fix this, we're going to have a lot of problems going forward. So yeah, that was day 177. I'll see you on day 178. Thank you for watching this video, and goodbye.